Good evening, ladies and gentlebirds. I hope all is well. The Christmas tree. I was going to say the Christmas tree is a twinkling, but the Christmas tree can twinkle as well. It's Eagles versus Cowboys week. We're back on the rodeo again, and it just feels, I don't know, it's one of them. There's all those memes online, like, the kind of self-deprecating guy goes through the worst day of his life, gets up and goes, it is what it is. This very much feels like that. The Eagles get humbled, embarrassed by the San Francisco 49ers, having dealt with everything else that the gauntlet has thrown them thus far. And they're now back on the road against the Cowboys, dust themselves up, pick themselves up, and go, it is what it is. It just feels like one of those days. Matty Mack is in. It says you're late. It was marginal. I needed a wee. Okay, I needed a wee. I mistimed it. It was bad body clock management on my part. Okay, I'll tell my bladder to be better. You win or you learn. You win or you learn. I don't know about a must-win, since even if we lose this game, we can still clinch the 1 seed at NFC East. I agree. Look, we're going to get to that shortly. I think, like the title of this video, but there just has been, I think, and wrongly, a lot of pressure on the Eagles to win this game. And it's not a game, realistically, I didn't expect them to win. If I go back and look at my predictions, I want to try and find this now. Hang on. I'm doing that thing where I'm improvising again. It never works. I have all this stuff prepared, and then 3 seconds in, I'm like, let's Google my game-by-game predictions. Because I'm pretty sure I had this as a loss. But just purely because they don't win in Dallas very much. And that's okay. They don't need to win that. Is this my article? Let's have a look. It is. Cool. All right. Let's have a look at this then. We can run through this together. The Christmas tree looks stunning. Haunted but stunning. It's when the star falls off the top. And if it does fall off, I'm going to wee on it like Terrell Owens probably wanted to. How's that for a niche reference? All right. So here are my game-by-game predictions. Sign up to that, by the way. If you go on phillysportsnetwork.com, pop your email in there. Well, they're my emails, so look at them. And essentially, once a day, you get an email from me with all the latest articles on PSN. So if you can't, access the site, if you don't have time to access it or you forget, you get all the previous day's headlines in your news inbox thing. So it's quite good. So game one, we had a dub, 1-0. They went 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. 5-0, 5-1. See, I'm right. I'm right here. Okay, I just thought Aaron Rodgers would be the guy to do it, not Zach Wilson. I did have them losing to the Dolphins. Okay, they beat the Commanders, beat the Cowboys, beat the Chiefs. They lose to the Bills and they beat the Niners to switch them around. And I did have them losing this, so I had them at 9-4 coming out of Week 14. There is a good chance they will be 11-2. Really, if all goes well, or whichever one way around it is, you know me. I don't think it matters when, like, again, I've just closed my tab, but bear with me 2 secs. There's been a wrongful amount of pressure on this game for the Eagles, and I can't exactly tell why. Because if we look at the NFC East at the minute, and Isaac has alluded to this already. So the Eagles, as you can see, a 1-game lead. If Dallas wins, they tie it. And that becomes that, really. Then Dallas has to kind of win outright. But if you look at the remaining games on the schedule for Philly, the Seahawks, even if they lose that, okay, and let's say Dallas win, and Dallas take a 1-game lead in the division, and the Eagles play the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Giants again. The Giants at that point, probably even this point, I'm assuming, will be tanking for draft capital, and they won't really want to put out starters in a meaningless Week 18 matchup. The Cardinals, I mean, they are just a mess, aren't they? Really, they are just an absolute mess. They beat the Steelers, but I'm not holding too much. It's the Jonathan Gannon revenge game. I do not fear the Steelers. The Cardinals. If you go and look at Dallas's schedule, it's a lot tougher. It is a lot tougher. If they beat the Eagles, to take a lead in the NFC East, they need the Eagles to then lose to Seattle, and they need to beat the Bills on the road. Okay, bearing in mind at this point, it's the 17th of December. It's a frozen tundra down there. Josh Allen's probably going to be at his best. It just is going to be a tough day at the office. Then they face the Dolphins, who themselves are in the midst of a very thick playoff race. So they're going to have to win that game. So that won't be easy. That's also on the road. They then go to the Lions, who are probably outside of the Niners, the only other team they haven't faced yet who will be a threat in the NFC playoff picture. It's the Eagles, it's the Niners, it's the Lions, it's the Cowboys. I can't see anyone else realistically posing that much of a threat. So that could be a loss. And then there's the Commanders. So of these 3 games, it's very, very likely they drop 1. It's presumed they'll drop 2, and potentially they drop all 3. I wouldn't be shocked. If they win all 3, they deserve the division. They have been the better team. But are they really going to beat the Bills and the Dolphins? Like a Miami team that has just been rampant this season, just resurgent. Like, look at what they've done since the loss to Philly. They took it personally. They slapped the Patriots. Sure, they lose a divisional bout against the Chiefs. Who doesn't? I mean, they're always tight there. They slap the Raiders. They slap the Jets. They slap the Commanders. They're taking care of business. They'll slap the Titans. They need that game. I cannot see Dallas doing much of anything if we're being honest with ourselves. So that's where I'm at. Like, it doesn't matter to me, like, whether the Eagles win this game or not. The NFC East is still up for grabs. It's not going to dramatically change the outcome of the playoff race. The Eagles are still very much in the thick of everything. And there is more pressure on Dallas because even if they do win this game, the Dolphins, the Bills, it's just tough. It is a tough sled of games for Dallas to get through. If they do beat Philadelphia, sure, it's a nice momentum boost, but that's not even half the battle. The Eagles can, I'd assume, in an ideal world, go on cruise control and take out the Cardinals. They can deal with the Giants once. They can deal with the Giants again. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to be a dramatic matchup, I'd like to think, where the Giants, who are without Daniel Jones, are playing Danny DeVito at quarterback. Like, I'm not really... I mean, I think Danny DeVito might be more efficient. He might be more efficient. But I'm just not phased. So the Eagles, realistically, even if they lose this game, even if they lose to Seattle, are going to be in a position where they win the last 3. Dallas are going to have to win at least 2 out of those 3 games, of being the Dolphins, of the Bills. I forgot, of the Lions, isn't it? So, again, I just can't see it happening. Do you get BritBox for free since you're British? I've heard of BritBox. Is this just where you get, like, BBC and ITV document, like the stuff they put out, isn't it? I don't think I do, but I do get, like, most of the content through other services, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a good deal if you are into, like, British TV and sitcoms and all. I don't actually know what's on it, but if you get Peaky Blinders and stuff, you're probably buzzing anyway. I think it's ITV. Okay, cool. So you get AEW. There you go. You got to look at that. I think they have the streaming rights in England for AEW, so you can enjoy that as a cheeky one, maybe. But yeah, just don't watch Coronation Street. Waste of time. Don't get sucked into that vapid loophole. Roman, nice to see you, sir. It says, go Birds. Go Birds. Let's get it. Big win over Dallas this weekend would be huge for the Eagles, just from a resurgent perspective. Like what would this game mean to the Eagles to win? Like, I think it means more to the Eagles. Like, again, Dallas have a lot of heavy lifting to do. Even if they beat the Eagles, there's a lot of heavy lifting if they want to win this division. For the Eagles, if they lose to the Niners, if they then go and lose to the Dallas Cowboys, it's that momentum thing, isn't it? And that's where I think is the losses rack up a little bit. The noises become louder. The criticism becomes far more frequent, and more audible. And it begins to get a little bit unsettling. Like, you're going to really see that team tested adversity-wise then. Like, can they handle that, of dropping 2 of their last 3, of dropping the other one against the Jets, of facing all of that criticism all year long and defying it by shithousing wins, by winning games that they could have very easily pushed out of contention. It pains me to say, but you're going to have to face the noise. They've got to come out swinging. If they can shut Dallas down and they can limit Dak Prescott on third down, we'll get into all of this stuff shortly. Like, there is a blueprint the Eagles can follow to win this game. I think it is a very winnable game for them. They have to do it in a way where it shuts up all the naysayers. The Brian Johnson coaches the game of his life, which, frankly, being honest, would be an average game for any NFL team. If Brian Johnson coordinates even a mildly efficient offense, it will be the most incredible thing that man has ever accomplished. For the rest of the NFL, it's the average Sunday. But that's what the Eagles need from him this week. Sean Desai, his linebacker core is going to be focused on heavily. They tried to get Christian Ellis back on the practice squad. That went tremendously. He's now a Patriot. Shaq Leonard, is he ready? If he's not, Zach Cunningham's just come back off injury. Nicholas Morrow's there. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff over the middle of the field. And the Eagles have got to be prepared for that. I'm watching Shetland now. I've not seen it. I'm trying to think of that. I'll tell you what is good. Oh, it's ITV, isn't it? So you won't have it. There was one called Time that was very good on BBC with Sean Bean in it, the guy from Game of Thrones and Lord, that fella. That's really good. I'm trying to think any other British things that are quite... There's one about a submarine. I can't remember what that's called, but that was pretty okay. And there was one... What about police? I can't remember what that was. But there was a really good British show that came out recently about police. And it was like 2 or 3 seasons long. And yeah, my girlfriend was obsessed with it. Ryan Swope, let's go, Liam. Let's go. I love that optimism from you, Ryan. Ryan Swope, more like Ryan Swoop. That's the energy we've got in this chat right now. Absolutely love it. It would be the first time we swept them since 2011 and the first win in Dallas since, I think that's 2017. I'm gonna jump in there, but I got you. The game is definitely important. We followed your blueprint to begin in the Niners and dipped. Exactly. And look how they started. They were winning. They went 6-0 up. And then it goes away. I'm on to something, all right? Howie Roseman watches PSN. They don't draft John Hightower for no reason. It doesn't magically happen. I'm convinced. He watches PSN. I do have the Vinny Curry story where like it's either highly, highly coincidental or that report may have got Vinny. Like Vinny Curry should be wiring me like, I don't know, 20K as a thank you for getting that contract, is all I'm saying. If that's the case. It might not be, but for those that don't know, it was back in the day, so it would have been 2016. So I had a contact close to Vinny's athletic trainer because he lived in New Jersey, didn't he? Basically saying that prior to like the tampering period, like it even started, that the Ravens, the Jets, and it was one other AFC team were interested in Vinny Curry. He was going into free agency. He wanted to stay in Philadelphia. And my source said, no, he's adamant he wants to stay. Like, he'll turn everything down. He wants to stay in Philadelphia. And then a week later, it was, all right, the offers are ramping up. He's considering, like, potentially split into... It was Baltimore, the team that wanted him. And I put a report out saying there are, like, 3 AFC outfits interested in Vinny Curry. And within, like, 6 hours, Vinny Curry had signed a monster contract extension in Philadelphia. Within hours of that report going up. And it just felt like I got a message in the morning saying like, yeah, they're ramping up their efforts. They want Vinny Curry. I put the report out and within a matter of hours, he'd put pen to paper. It was like I got played. I was the vessel there. Like the agent or whoever it was, it had just been sprinkling this information down the Chinese whispers sort of line to get a reaction, to maybe send a signal of, hey, Vinny's going to go. And it got the deal done. It may have got the deal done. I don't know. But it was the first time I looked at it and was like, huh, that's pretty cool. Like, whether it was just coincidental or not, to this day, I have no idea. Obviously, who reads information and what they do with it, all I do is put the stuff out there. But it was quite interesting to see. So it was a long time ago, but it was just fun. And it was the first ever, I guess, instance I realized, okay, there could be people within the organization like paying attention to what we put out, to the content we're writing and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a fun moment to put on the resume. Dak isn't asked. I don't like that in the least bit. No, Dak isn't asked, unfortunately. Let's get to that in a minute. And we'll quickly run through these comments and we'll come back to your one if that's okay, Matt, just because I've got a graphic. Woo! It's not a good one. I'll set the expectations mid. It's an average Liam graphic. It was a bit of a rush this evening. I had to do some Christmas shopping, so I've been a bit tired out. But I do have some chocolate coins. So, that's what you get. You reap what you sow. Phil is in. He says Eagles 35, Dallas 31. I love that. It's a bold prediction, nice and early. I'd love to see it. I would love to see an Eagles sweep. As Isaac said, it will be the first time since 2011. At that age, I was 16 years old, a little pop punk kid with a high pitched voice. Not much has changed since then, unfortunately. But it'd be a I can't understand why the Eagles struggle so much in Dallas. It always feels like whenever they go on the road in Dallas, like something dodgy happens, whether it's like they go in with an injury or it's like, I swear there was one that was week 17 that obviously didn't count. There was the Carson Wentz downfall. Like, it's just been a couple of like bits along the way where nothing is really counted. But the one that matters is 2015 overtime, Sam Bradford, Jordan Matthews, touchdown, back of the end zone. Second to the Super Bowl. That's my Roman Empire. That is my Roman Empire. Sam Bradford, Jordan Matthews, overtime, walk-off touchdown. It was magic. You had to be there. It was special. It was Eagles lore. I can't put into words why that moment was so great or why it lives rent-free in my head so much. Sometimes my girlfriend's like, I wonder what he's thinking about when he's lying in bed at night. 8 times out of 10, it is that pass and it is that play and that win. I can't tell you why. I wish I knew, but it is just a special moment. What's your favorite Eagles versus Cowboys moment while we're here? That's a nice little conversation to have. Like, what's your defining one? Was it the T.O. Star? Were you around for that? I wasn't, unfortunately. Does that make Sam Bradford Julius Caesar? Absolutely it does, K1. Absolutely it does. And he will be the judge. I love how everyone's just gradually like adopting a British accent. We got cheers. We got mate. Marshall Lynch comes in with his in it, bruv. And very quickly, I will answer Ryan's question. What sport do you coach play? None. I mean, I play golf. I try and play golf. I would genuinely like. I play Football Manager. That's about as far as it goes. Which, unironically, has taught me more about life and relationships and business than like anything else. It's weird. Like sometimes running PSN is just like real life Football Manager in the best possible way. I love it. Like it's really cool. I was never good at sport growing up. I'm 6'3", very lanky. Didn't have much muscle. I played rugby in our school matches, and the only tackle I made was on my own teammate. So that went down like a cup of cold sick. And that was that, really. But there was a wise saying that those that can't do it talk about it. And that was the route that I took with PSN. Originally, it was broadcasting, and we ended up over here 9 years later now, doing it full time, still kicking, still going strong. And it just, we're in our own little subtle space. I think that's the best way to describe where we're at now, is that we're not, I feel like when it first started, obviously, like we had to make a lot of noise and had to be a bit more bold and like aggressive, I guess, with like headlines and stuff. But now everything's secure, like everyone's paid, everything's lovely, and it's just there's a rhythm and we're moving and we can just do us subtly, do the content we enjoy without that, the extra BS, so to speak. It just feels calmer in a rhythm. It's nice. So, yeah, I don't know, a bit of a tangent there, but there we are. Liam's gutted over up. John Rahm reaction. Look, I don't know. I'm on the fence because realistically, would any of us turn it down for like 600k or 600 million? Sorry, like would anyone turn it down? What I don't like is that through all of it, John Rahm has been this model, humble, ferocious competitor that has been adamant he wants to stay where the best players are. That he's, in his own words, I'm pretty sure there was an interview last year that he's earned enough money and he just wants to play golf. He's very fortunate to do what he does for a living. He's very fortunate to be a tour player, to have won a green jacket, to be one of the best in the world and to play all these gorgeous courses. And he doesn't need the extra incentive. Fast forward 8 months and $600 million, and he's a changed man wearing a bomber jacket or whatever it is, saying that he can't wait for the opportunity. But the fact that in the tweet of him announcing the live move, he said that it's a great opportunity for his family, says that this is money. It wasn't like, oh, I cannot wait to start this chapter in my career and to build this live product. Like, I love what they're doing. I'm excited to be a part of it. It was just, this is a great opportunity for my family and my money and my bank account. And it was just like, I get it, But like realistically, what are we watching on the PGA Tour next year? Like outside, because obviously all the main guys play the elevated events. And for anyone that isn't a golf fan, I apologize, we've gone on this tangent. But the main guys play the elevated events. So you take them out, and there will literally be about 8 or 9 events in the middle of the year, something like the 3M Open or something like the John Deere Classic or something stupid, where you've just got Matt Kuchar. That's it, really. Matt Kuchar becomes the cream of the crop. You have some up and comers, like is it Rasmus, not Hoyland, like Højgaard is coming through. There's a couple names that are popping through. For me, like my favorite golfer is Will Zalatoris, so he'll be back from injury, so that's exciting for me. But there aren't many golfers and I hate to say it, but a lot of the ones that went to live, right? Guys like Matt Wolff, guys like Taylor Gooch, they're just people that like obviously Bryson, but guys that are mid to upper PGA level, like there just isn't much talent left on the PGA Tour now, outside of like Shane Lowry, Tyrell Hatton, like obviously Tommy Fleetwood. That there just aren't many there that inspire that. Like I won't deliberately tune in to watch Saith Thagala blow another competition because he gets too angry. I'm not going to tune in to watch Xander Schauffele. I'm not tuning in to watch some of the guys that are like 5K on DraftKings every week. Like I'm just not doing it. So like Chris Kirk, great. Meanwhile, Liv, in fairness to them, do have Bryson. They do have John Rahm now. Brooks Koepka. Like they've got some of the best players in the world. And it's becoming a bit more, now that the stigma's dying down a bit and that sting isn't there, it's not as vicious when people hear about it. Sure, a big name move like John Rahm inspires that conversation. It promotes the dialogue of like it's blood money or whatever. But realistically, the initial shock factor is over. So now you can kind of just enjoy both products. And when you've got newsworthy stories like Bryson shooting a 58, it just does promote it in a good way. I don't know. I'm very torn on it. I think it's great that he's got his bag and about 150,000 others to go with it, but at the expense of like what will it mean now to win on the PGA Tour? What is it actually going to mean for Rory to cut? Like if Rory comes through and wins the British Open, and it's like I don't know, a lot of the guys have deferred to Live. They're not playing. I know they've kind of reduced it all, but like what will it mean if Rory just wins 8 of 10 like tour events in a row? It's Rory, it's Scotty, it's Schauffele, it's probably the third. Fleetwood might be up there, and a bunch of just Chris Kirk. I'm trying to think of other ones that have just let me down historically on DraftKings. Adam Svensson. Guys like that, or just old guys. It's not what it was, and it sucks. But at the same time, look, AEW, WWE, everyone's got a preference. I think the Live product does offer something alternative. I like, although the trade the other day made no sense whatsoever, but sure, we'll get to that. Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is, right, completely unrelated, but slightly related. When I went to Madrid, I played a golf course out there called, I think it was just called like Centro de Nacional de Madrid or something. And I went in, and on the side of the driving range was like a life-size, not life-size, but like top to bottom artwork thing of John Rahm lifting the Spanish Open trophy. And you go in the pro shop and they've got the highlights on and a signed flag and stuff. And I parred a hole that round. This is when I was still pretty poor at golf. Like I think I didn't have a handicap at that point. I was barely getting near 100. And I parred a hole. And I went back and looked at what John Rahm did. And John Rahm parred that hole in round 3 of the Spanish Open. And for one moment in time, me and John Rahm were the same golfer. Is all I'm saying. For one frozen moment in time, me and John Rahm were identical on the same playing field. And he'd shit himself, I reckon. If he saw me par that hole, he'd fall apart. I'd win the whole thing. That's the story for another day. But alas, we will move back into some Eagles talk now. I know we've got like half an hour to go. But it is cool. I didn't know so many of you watching this actually like follow golf as well. Like it is a big passion. I played today. I played 9 holes today at my local course that I'm a member at. and it's like winter rules. You're off of driving range mats and stuff. But I shot 47, left a lot out there, which for me is good. Like, I play off a 22 handicap at the minute. I wanted to get down to 20 by the end of this year. Couldn't quite get there. But I won a competition on my birthday weekend and shot an 87, 89, I think it was my best. And yeah, we're in a good spot. So there's some golf stuff for you for those that actually do play golf. Aren't you a Tommy lad? I am. I do like Tommy Fleetwood, but I find that he's particularly dry just personality-wise, and he has a tendency to just come up short in big moments. And that isn't great. Like, I don't know. I was always a Bryson. I've got a Bryson DeChambeau hoodie. Like, I've got the BAD, like the baby blue hoodie. Like, I've got that. I was a big Bryson guy just because of his approach to golf. Not even the driving, but just genuinely his approach to everything's being like, he's like a mad scientist. Like, everything is to a T, and he's tweaking things from this, like, it's like hyper analytics, but for golf in a body way. And it's just super fascinating to watch. But yeah, Will Zalatoris was my guy. He was the first golfer that I watched. I used to like Ernie Els growing up, just because my dad used to watch golf and he was like the one he followed. So I kind of just watched a lot of Ernie Els throughout my childhood, and then stopped following it for a while. Got back into it. Found Will Zalatoris. Like, I think the first tournament I watched was literally that first Masters where he came like second, and was like, oh, this kid's got something. Followed him ever since. All of the missed tournaments where he'd missed putts and dropped them like an inch short. The PSN golf TikTok blew up that year when he dropped was it the US Open when Fitzpatrick won it? That was a tough moment to watch, but like got a good TikTok out of it. I don't know how many views it got, but it was upwards of like 3 million. It was cool. Like, I don't know. I'm a big golf fan. It's nice seeing other people in here. There are Eagles fans that also follow golf. And if you are one of the few that are an Eagles fan in this chat and you're not following golf, do it. Go to your local driving range. I think it's got such a bad stigma that it's like this old man sport and it's slow and it's boring. And I get it, because it's a slow sport to watch. And the commentators are always very quiet of, now here is John Rahm on the tee. He is hitting a 3-iron. And that is a lovely... So I get it. But like the process of getting better and like grinding and building this, I love it. I'm addicted to it. It's cool. I parred a hole at some super famous old golf. Might have been Arnie. Shot an 8 on. Wow. There was a plaque for it and everything. Sick. That's it. I think that's the one thing what the golf has over other sports is that, like, realistically, if we're down bad if it's all in golf on Eagles Dallas week. Yeah, we got half an hour. We can preview it. It's fine. But realistically, like, if you are a diehard Eagles fan, you can go on the link and you can catch a touchdown pass, but it's not like the same, if you know what I mean. It just feels you can go and take a tour of the link. You can go and take a tour of the stadium. You can go in, I don't know, do the same with baseball. But to like play the same course, it's the same as motorsport. Like, you can drive the exact same track they've won on, but it feels different because of, I don't know why. Because it's individual, maybe, or the turf check. I'm not sure. But I couldn't imagine playing somewhere like St Andrews, knowing you're making that same walk. Some of the greatest golfers to ever live have walked over. Like, just for another, but we will get back onto Eagles in a minute, I promise. But for another analogy, like, a lot of the broadcasting stuff I used to do was at Silverstone. And for those that do know or care about motorsport, like, obviously it's the UK's signature track. And they redid it. Like, they redesigned it maybe 10, 15 years ago. So all the old track got rerouted to make it like more modern for faster cars. And essentially the old track is still there. Like, it's untouched. It is the same shape, same layout. The curbs are still there on the side for those that play racing games, like the little blue and white like strips, the rumble strips. They are. I'm in sync with you all. They're all still there. It's just that they've taken the grass out and they've built a bridge over it, and you go over the bridge to go into the spectator area. And to get to the commentary box that I was in for that weekend, I had to walk over the old circuit. And I walked through, I can't remember what corner it was, but I walked past one of the corners. And I just remember it so vividly from my childhood of growing up, playing all the old Formula One games, watching like Michael Schumacher and like David Coulthard and all these other drivers go over that exact curb and standing on it. And you see the tyre marks, like where all the cars have rumbled over it over the years. and it's just the most surreal feeling. And I don't think many sports offer that, and golf is certainly one of them. And I think it's just quite cool, really. So I always like telling people that because that's it, yeah. And I tell you what, golf is really good for mental health as well. I will say that. Like, I think I've become a much better person from playing golf because I understand a lot more about myself. Like, about, I don't know, like things like risk tolerance. Like, when do you take on stupid shots and when do you not? Like, when your back's against the wall, when the pressure's on, if you start out hot. Like, I don't know. I played a competition a few months back and I think I went like par birdie to start and I shat it because I never start. I'm used to playing awful front nine and saving it back nine. So I started out really well and I wobbled and I got like a 9 on the next one and a 7 on the next one that was a par 3. And like my friend who I was playing with was like, just relax, like you're doing fine. So I don't know. It's a great sport. I love it. But we will get on to some Eagles talk because this is a Eagles stream, believe it or not. Although it is our Friday ones, and our Friday ones are a bit more chilled and relaxed and chaotic, I guess, if you will. I made score 7 shots better than Arnold Palmer. Mate, I'm not even joking. You could probably get at least 800k off him. Easy money, 800k. Not a doubt. But I just think it's cool. Like, you can play the same hole as a golfer and shoot the same score as them. Like, and it's like this weird moment in time. Again, same with the racetrack. You can record the same lap time or go over the same corners. Yeah, just a really, I don't know. I love that element of it. Edmonds was bollocks. Well, was Bayard better than Edmonds in that first game? Edmonds was bollocks. I've got to say, K1's English is getting up there. His level of English, like chatter, is improving by the week. He is a student of the game, tremendous work ethic, and he's coming on leaps and bounds. So well done, K1. I'm proud of you. But was Bayard better than Edmonds? What, do you mean in the first Dallas game? Was he there in the first Dallas game? I don't think he was he? What have we got? Hold on. I'll drop the comments. I'd like to say that's false equivalence because Morrow at linebacker is worse than Edmonds at safety. I love how he just layers to it. So you got him at linebacker is worse than Edmonds at safety, which is better than him at defensive tackle, which is worse than him. Okay, right. But Yard's first game was at Dallas. I'd say so. But again, his first game wasn't overly great, was it? But he's one of them where we talked it into existence where he would get better over time. So there is that. 15-minute golf rabbit hole. There'll be plenty more of them. I know Phil does his weekly DFS golf streams like throughout the year. I want to try and gate crash them. I don't do it anymore. I have stopped the devil's gambling, if you will. I was going to say devil's lettuce, but it's not, is it? It's gambling. But yeah, it's one of them where I love I used to build custom models for golf on DFS and finding like all of the strokes gained and lost and the patterns and who plays well. Oh, it's just endless. I love it. Ryan says, I dislike the pressure of having to be rushed and worry about people behind you. I get so nervous, feeling like I always have to rush. That's fair. No, dude, I understand that. There is nothing worse than that. Or if you catch people up and you have to play through, that too is, you feel like you're playing at Augusta in front of like a gallery of like 4,000 people. And all you're trying to do is hit like a 7-iron. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I think that's like quite natural though. It just comes down to, I think, other people having the etiquette and awareness to either let you through or to sit back and whatever. So yeah, depends where you play. I mean, from my perspective, like the courses I've been at, it has been very good. Like, unless we're in like a group of 4 and there's a group of 2 behind us, we get so paranoid about those people that like as soon as they're into view, it's like, yeah, let them through. Just get it out the way. Like, we'll hit our tee shots, go find our balls, and then just wait for like 10 minutes because we don't want to hold anyone up. So yeah, totally understand you. He's just showing off now. Look, Edmonds took the piss after the first Washington game. He is on one. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. I don't know why I always announce it. Will there ever be a stream where I just do this? Probably not. Probably not. But I've got some graphics. Let's do the tail of the tape, Eagles versus Cowboys, and then get into some actual Eagles discussion because, my God, we need to. We have wasted half of this stream talking about golf. I say wasted. It's been very productive. I've enjoyed it. Isaac, I feel like, bless him, might not be a big golf fan. But Ryan is, and I like that from Ryan. Eagles versus Cowboys. I'll tell you what. I can't tell if I'm more or less scared of this Dallas team than I was about the Niners last week. I genuinely don't know. I feel like quarterback-wise is an obvious, upgrade. That doesn't need explaining. Dak Prescott might be the MVP this year. But we have to be realistic. As much as it would pay me to say it, Dak Prescott might be playing at an MVP level. Game recognizes game. I can hate a player and still appreciate that they are the best at what they do. Dak is playing at an unbelievable level right now. And that has to be said. It also doesn't help that the Philadelphia Eagles have been atrocious on third down. Their third down allow percentage this year, I believe, sorry, I've hit the wrong button. I was trying to get this off. Bear with me. It's me again. I believe it's around 47%. It's ballooned to 58 last game. There was an article written by David at PSN who just put out a fantastic Eagles versus Cowboys breakdown, highlighting how the Eagles can win the game. I think he said, Purdy had I might just find the article because it was a really good article and we've got to give him credit. Well, let me find it. Give me 2 seconds. That one. Right, and we go here, and we do a bit of this, bit of that. Bang. Good job I showed you that tab and not the other one. You want to see what's on this tab? Look at that. Look at this. That's right. Yeah, I'm 19 minutes into a Taylor Swift playlist called 3 a.m. and I'm still awake. Yes, it is only 6 p.m. Eastern. What are you going to do about it? Judge me. I dare you. All right? I dare you. Anyway, we're going back over here. Sign up to the newsletter. Don't be a bozo. Where is this stat about? Third down. Here we go. All right. So the defense is allowing a league worst 47% third down conversion rate on the season. Over the last 3 weeks, it's 58%. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. And in game 1 against Dallas, the Eagles stopped them to 6 of 15 third down attempts. Now, I'm not a mathematician. I think it's about 35%. There is no way. You can tell what the anomaly is, can't you? Is it the one game they freakishly held a star-studded Dallas offense that has been blowing teams out the water to 30% of their pass attempts? Or is it the 47% on the season and the 58% over the last 3 weeks? I wonder which one's the outlier. Yeah, they've got to get off the field. They have to get off the field. That isn't acceptable. And Dak Prescott is too good to not to just let roam. I think that's the other thing. They've got to be better at that. Also in this article, David pointed out that they're allowing the 28th highest amount of QB hurries and a 24th in allowing pressures. We said the other day about the offensive line has not been playing overly well at the minute. That's probably a testament. But are we going to be in a situation where the Cowboys have got a great defensive line? They are able to somewhat nullify the effect that Jalen Hurts has, and the Eagles just cannot get off the field. If so, it won't even be a contest. It won't even be close. It'll be a really sticky situation. However, I did like this sentence in the article that Reddick and Sweat combined for 13 pressures, 9 hurries, 2 QB hits, 2 sacks, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay. What I didn't like about that was that Josh Allen and Brock Purdy have averaged 13.5 yards per attempt when blitzed. In the loss to the Niners, Purdy went 10 for 10 for 213 yards, including 3 touchdown passes. Who, ladies and gentlemen, who on Friday told them, don't do it. You don't need to blitz. Brock's good under pressure, but he's not good when he has to throw more than 30 times. I gave the blueprint. I said, don't do it. Don't blitz. Just boiling frog. Turn the pressure up a little bit. Turn the pressure up a little bit. Send a few. You're weak in the middle. You're weak at safety. You strength this defensive line. Get him off that first read. Make him uncomfortable. Make him throw 30 times and he will turn the ball over. Instead, you don't listen. You bozos. You blitz. He goes 10 for 10 for over 200 yards and 3 tutties. That is like an entire game's worth of stats off of just like third downs alone. Not acceptable. It is not on. I was right. The Eagles were wrong. They had to do the exact same against Dak Prescott for identical reasons. Only this time, they're even worse on third down. So the Cowboys are more efficient. It's going to be a bloodbath if they try that same strat again. And let's go to some of your comments here. Little G Griffith, great team and go Eagles. Eagles 31, Cowboys 20. I love that prediction from you, Griffith. That's strong. That's a dominant win. I think if we can take a 31-20 victory, we'll wake up very happy on Monday morning. Christmas is coming early, and that won't be the only thing. The silence while you guys yapped about golf from me must be deafening. And that is a phenomenal oxymoron, Isaac. You are learning in this class. You are learning in this class. And I respect that from you, Sunshine. Meanwhile, K1 continues to flex on us all with being chuffed to bits. The Eagles haven't swept the Cowboys in the Dak era, never won at Dallas, but they haven't swept us in the Hurts era, unless they did in 21. They did. Never mind. Good dialogue there. Working out between you boys. Saves me the hassle. Donut Blitz. Sean must make Dak throw outside the numbers. He's just got to try and get him off that first read. You can't just blitz a ton. Look, Matty's probably right. He's going, yeah, we're going to do it for 3 plays and then just send the kitchen sink, which just won't work. It just isn't going to work. I'll tell you why it's not going to work. It's graphic time. Here we go again. You can just see the level that Dak Prescott is playing at this year. And the only reason he ranks like 20th in picks is because there's like 56 quarterbacks that have technically registered this year because, all the injuries and, backups coming in and stuff like that. But to be 5th in yards, 3rd in completion percentage, 1st in touchdowns, that was Jalen Hurts like 3 weeks ago. That was Jalen Hurts. And at the time, we were saying about how good Jalen Hurts is playing. All of the conversations were very much MVP based. That he's coming alive. That after a slow start, he's beginning to find his form. He's starting to find that confidence. He's lifted AJ Brown to an NFL record-shattering stint. And the Eagles are going to get better because of it. Dak Prescott is playing at that same level. And that is absolutely okay. But you have to acknowledge it. And we have to say, look, this isn't going to be, a walk in the park. The fact that Dak Prescott threw for, 374 yards, I think, in the opening game against the Eagles and lost, that's the outlier. That's what they need to make sure doesn't happen again, because it will happen again. This Cowboys team is too good. They're riding a 4-game win streak. They're riding like a 14-game home unbeaten streak off the top of my head. They haven't lost at home to the Eagles since 2017. They've not been swept since 2011. It's going to be the toughest matchup of the year. There is no two ways about it. We all hate Dallas. We can all hate on them. But let's be honest. They are one of the best teams in football right now. And they are breathing down Philadelphia's shoulders. And they can smell blood in the water. The Eagles are limping. They're vying for help. They're weak in the middle of the defense. We don't know how Shaq Leonard's going to play. Kevin Byard's not been great. The corners really struggled. The tackling was pretty poor last week. I don't know what Darius Slay's doing on Twitter, but that needs to be reined in ASAP. And the Eagles are going to have to come out and play the Cowboys like this is their Super Bowl. Like this is the biggest game of the season. Forget one game at a time. Just focus on the next day. They've got to come out swinging, start hot, and put pressure on them. Make them score. If they're going to score 40 points, make them score 40 points. Don't give it to them. Don't give endless possession. Don't let Tony Pollard be Tony Pollard. Don't let CeeDee Lamb be CeeDee Lamb. Funnel them, get creative defensively, and give Jalen Hurts an opportunity. Now, whether Brian Johnson will elevate that opportunity or lose it, that's anyone's guess. But it has to be there in the first place. And that's kind of where I'm at for this game. Dak also played bad defenses, though. That is true. I mean, rain games, I don't know. I would be interested to see, is there a difference between rain games and not? I mean, who have the Cowboys played this year? Let's go back and have a look. Let's share the screen again. Oh, bear with me. That one. Not the Taylor Swift window. We want this one. Cowboys bracket. All right. So I hate Bing so much, man. Where are we? Right, go back to the beginning of the year, which is okay. So they started the year with a 40-0 win over the Giants. They beat the Jets. That one's funny. That just is funny. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals. That is hilarious. Slap the Patriots, get blown out by the Niners, beat the Chargers, beat the Rams, lose to the Eagles. It's tricky because what they've done, really, is beat the teams they should be beating by quite some margin, and then lose against the teams where they're either on their level or better by quite some margin. It's quite confusing. Look, as a 30, what their point differential in the season must be absolutely absurd. Well, it's already, 40, 60, 72, over 100, back down a bit there. But it's wild. That is a wild point differential. And I just, there is something to be said for that, Isaac. You are right. I mean, the defenses they have played, New York's bad. The Jets were pretty good. Cardinals are bad. Patriots, the Eagles struggled against the Patriots. The Eagles really struggled in week one. Whether it's just because it was week one, the lack of preseason, they came out rusty, whatever it was, they did struggle. The Niners, fair enough. Great defense. The Chargers, no. The Rams, no. The Eagles, definitely not. Not pass defense anyway. The Giants, no. The Panthers, no. The Commanders, no. The Seahawks, average. So yeah, like you're right. They haven't played an elite defense. There's something to be said for that. Shout out as well quickly to Alavon Axe, who has liked the stream on Facebook. Now, again, I can't see likes on YouTube. I can see them on Facebook for some reason. So shout out to Avalon Axe for the like. If you are watching this and you haven't left a like yet, it would help. It does help the stream go. It's the best way to support what we do here at Philly Sports Network. So would love to see a little bit of love on today's show. Also, Hurts destroys Dak in terrible stats. Yeah, I mean, from a rushing touchdown perspective, yeah, because he has like 18 brotherly shoves. And look, I don't know. I don't want to slander Dak Prescott because he is playing really well this year. He's playing very well this year. I don't think he's the MVP, but I wouldn't be shocked if he wins it because he's very much willing the Cowboys sort of back into existence. The only counter you can make is that whenever they've played a legitimate defense, they have faltered. Now, the other caveat to that is if we're using that as a defense for the Eagles to win on Sunday, the Eagles aren't a legit defense. And I'm not trying to spark a mutiny in the comments and for you to get your pitchforks, but they're just not. You cannot be a legit defense when you rank 29th against the pass. You cannot be a legit defense when... Can anyone else, can any other fan base in the NFL name one Eagles linebacker? Can any other fan base? Because I can look at the Patriots, you can look at the Jets, you could look at the Chargers, you could look at, hell, the Cowboys. You can look at most teams in the NFL, and you should be able to name one linebacker, one safety. Can anyone? The only reason people know Reed Blankenship is because of, the Ed Reed nicknames and because of the White nicknames. The only reason people know Kevin Byard is because there was a shock trade and he was shockingly, moved out of his old stomping ground. And the Eagles came in and swooped him up and said, thank you very much then. Like, can anyone name, is anyone in Dallas going to know who Zach Cunningham is? Does anyone care who Nicholas Morrow is? Does anyone know if Shaq Leonard can play football anymore? Can you name a linebacker on the Titans? Yeah, but the Titans are dead. That's my point. That is my point. You are right. You've stumped me there. I mean, I can't name a linebacker on many teams, if I'm honest with you. But I was going to try and... Who are the Titans linebackers? Let's have a look. Do they have anyone? I swear they drafted one like round 3 this year. I'm trying to share my... Who they've got Jack Gibbons, Harold Landry, but that doesn't really count, does it? They've got Aziz Al-Shire, Luke Gifford, Otis Reese, Arden Key, I know that one. Sean Murphy Bunting, I wanted him on the Eagles. Oh, that's corner, that's why, never mind. Yeah, I'll live with you, not a clue. But again, the Titans are 4-8. 4-8. Can you name me a Chiefs linebacker? Can you name me a Cowboys one, a Dolphins one? The Niners one, if you're pressed and you're given time, probably. I don't think many people are scared of what the Eagles are shipping out at linebacker, and that is a concern because Dak will eat it up with a tight end like Jake Ferguson. Arden Key still catching a paycheck. Good for him. Titans don't exist. NFL mid. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Derrick Henry this year. Apparently he's second in rushing. When did that happen? Wow. Sorry, I know I'm not sharing my screen, but when was Derrick Henry second in the NFL in rushing? I do not remember him even playing this year. Yeah, I take it back. I agree with Greg. The Titans are a myth. They're not a real team. They've just made that up. They've made that up. He was not. He's not second in rushing. I mean, obviously McCaffrey's first, I assume, right? But what? NFL stats. Let's have a look. I'm intrigued now. Share screen. That one. I'm not having that. He is as well. Ahead of Raheem Mostert, Eagles legend, is third. DeAndre Swift is fourth. Pacheco fifth. Josh Jacobs, ETN, Bijan, Tony Pollard, James. Oh, God. Wow. I mean, look, fair play to McCaffrey. You can see why the Niners traded for him. It's good that he stayed as healthy as could be. Yeah, he's been a home run hit for them, if you pardon the pun. Derrick Henry, I don't think exists. Raheem Mostert, I'm pretty sure has been but there were games, hasn't Devon Achane been really good as well for Miami. So that's just wild. I don't know how DeAndre Swift is fourth in rushing. Josh Jacobs had 5 weeks where he was terrible. The guy's averaging 3.5 yards per carry. And he's, look at that, look. He's got 220 attempts. Swift's 167. That is nuts. He's awful. Josh Jacobs has had a terrible year. A genuinely really bad year, Josh Jacobs. Bijan's been all right. Zach Moss, I would have thought higher. David Montgomery, I would have thought was a bit higher. Saquon's been dead. Harris dead. Mixon dead. Jesus. The running back position is depleting fast, is all I'm saying. I think the value of the running back spot is going to drive down very quickly. It is Christian McCaffrey, Mostert, Swift, James Cook, David Montgomery. All of these names could really be on minimum carries and money. Really, it's weird. Achane was dead for 4 weeks. Average over 9 yards though. What a monster. Get him in. That is a prime Eagles off-season target, that is. And speaking of the Eagles, obviously we've got 5 minutes to go. So it is that time of the show. Get your predictions in the chat. You know what to do. I'm going to go with... It's a question. I'm intrigued how many people choose the Eagles to beat the Cowboys. Does this unbeaten streak since 2017 at home for Dallas come to an end on Sunday? I believe it will. I think the Eagles would have taken, in an ideal world, taken that loss to the Niners to heart. They'd have reflected on the tape and understood that, look, they have been getting away with murder for the best part of 13 weeks. All of the setbacks, all of the errors, all of the holes to exploit that have been all week, the Niners did in a huge way. And they ripped every Band-Aid off and said, that won't work anymore. The blueprint is out there. Now the Eagles have to adapt. Now they have to change. And I believe in Sirianni. I believe in Hurts. I believe in Desai to make those decisions, to make those calls, and to give the players the best chance of winning. Because talent-wise, the Eagles can go toe-to-toe with the Cowboys. It's 2 elite quarterbacks, 2 elite offensive lines. They've got the advantage at tight end with Dallas Goedert back. They've got the more complete advantage at wide receiver. It's defense where they lack. This could well be a shootout. I think it'll be 42-38 Eagles. I think the Eagles win. Jalen Hurts puts up 350 yards in what is one of those career performances, a game that will immortalize him, I think, in Philadelphia, of beating Dallas on the road in real, exuberant fashion that shows why he is one of the league's best quarterbacks. And at the same time, just knock the wind back out of the sails of a Dallas side that is now winning 4 games in a row. make them go 2 games back in the NFC East and having to win out. They'll have to beat the Bills. They're going to have to beat the Lions. They're going to have to beat the Dolphins. And that's even to get close to tying with an Eagles team that has the Giants twice, the Commanders once. Or sorry, the Cardinals once. I think the Eagles do it. I think the Eagles get it done. 42-38. It's not necessarily a must win, but in terms of setting a statement, not only for now, but for years to come, that they can go into Dallas. They can walk into the Lions' den unscathed, unfazed, and knock out the beast and shut down the opposition and silence anyone that says otherwise. I was in comment. Tom P, long-time viewer, first-time commentator, been a fan on the channel and website for the 4 to 5 years. I think the Eagles have a shot if their offense keeps pace with that. Tom, thank you so much for your support, man. That means a lot. I think sometimes I do lose sight of the fact that, like, how long we have been around and that it means I'm a big Tom P fan. He knows. But Tom P's in. Tom P is one of the core 12 now. He is absolutely in. But yeah, just to know that, like, we are a part of your daily lives and that you go to our website, you watch the content, you read the content. It means a lot, man. And I'm really happy that you had the confidence to put a prediction in, to say hello. Like, that is the sweetest thing. It's that you don't even know that's like made my entire day. Been a bummy couple of days personally in a weird scenario. Just hearing that, it means a lot. So thank you very much just for your support, man. Because like we wouldn't be here without that kind of long-term support. And I'm trying not to get too sappy right now, but just I don't know, you kind of read something like that and it just hits home as to why you do what you do. And I'm glad that we could be a fixture for you in your fandom of the team. And that goes for everyone watching this. I'm glad that we, I talk to you guys like 3 times a week now at the same time spot. The fact you allot that time for me and for PSN, it means everything. So just thank you for all of your support and allowing us to do what we do and welcoming us into your lives to be somewhere that hopefully brings you closer to your team and enriches your experience. So just thank you. That's extremely kind, Tom. And I hope you have a lovely weekend. The Eagles have the Eagles edge at the Cowboys 34-31 of a Jake Elliott. Oh, I like that. He's cooking. So you can tell he's been around a while. He knows what to say. You can tell he's been around more than 5 minutes. He's gone straight for the jugular. He wants the Jake Elliott. He wants the saucepan to come out. He's going to start cooking in that kitchen. Love to see it. Isaac says, I think the Eagles bounce back versus Dallas. Hurts hasn't lost back-to-back since 21. We have got our own statistician in Isaac. We have got someone that comes in, number. He comes in. And I end up using them in articles. And I think last week in the pre-game, I ended up using half the stuff Isaac told me in the stream the night before. Amazing. I love your insights, Isaac. We love having you in the stream. I love that prediction. E-Money Bentley's in. Go Birds. Go Birds, man. Have a great weekend. This will not be a shootout, says Gregory Moody. 26-20 after Dak chokes the game away and the Eagles run the clock out. Now that I would absolutely love to see. We've not seen anyone predict a Cowboys win yet. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought some people might be a bit more conservative, especially after what we saw against the Niners. But the fact that there is a unanimous confidence in this team, I think, speaks real volumes. Just about, the talent, the belief in the coaching staff. There's no reason to doubt a team that through the last 31 weeks in the NFL has had the best record in football. 31 weeks. That's only 2 whole years of the NFL. They've had the best record in football. There is no reason to panic. There's no reason to be alarmed. Everything is normal. Okay? Great teams wobble. And the Eagles are just going to wobble right back into shape, waltz into Dallas, punch them in the mouth, and win on the road. And that is how this game's going to go. And I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that way. You can Venmo me 5 for that article. I'll see what I can do. And on that note, guys, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. Isaac says, in all seriousness, I get all my stats from stuff I see over the week. Just do a good job at remembering and commenting them. No, dude, it is really impressive. It's really cool. And it shows your passion for the team. But it's great that you can come into an environment like this, share them, and they genuinely play like a huge role in shaping the conversation. Because you'll bring something up, and I'm like, wow, and spend 5 minutes talking about like that one area. It's sick. Like you add so much to the stream. So thank you for hanging out. See, Tom's got me all sappy. That's Tom's fault. I'll have to Venmo Tom for the stat, 5 for you for the Venmo for the article. But we are gonna end it there. I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm up a bit early tomorrow, so it's straight to bed for moi. But thank you for hanging out, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. We're entering the holiday season. There will be a PSN awards show coming up. Like, we're going to do it. I don't know a date, but it'll be the week between Christmas and New Year. So probably like 27th, 28th. We're going to get voting forms up soon. Can't say when. It's going to probably be Monday. Just for like Writer of the Year, Rookie. You know what we used to do? Fan of the Year. We'll stream it live on YouTube. You can all come in, hang out with us. We'll have like 30 of us on, all wearing suits, like a little Oscars ceremony. And we'll have some fun. But I can't wait for that. And hopefully you can all join us. We'll have a Christmas party in the week leading up to it as well, for sure. I might even get the Santa outfit back. Who knows? But yeah, thank you for hanging out. You're all amazing. And just to kind of piggyback off of what I said to Tom, yeah, just the fact that you guys all genuinely come into this stream religiously, like every time, 3 times a week, just to hang out for an hour and talk birds with me means everything. So just thank you for your support. The community that we've got here is genuinely like no other. I love it to bits. I look forward to this every single day of the week. I end up like thinking about things to talk about on stream, which never matters anyway, because we end up talking about golf for 15 minutes or a chaotic love life story. But it does mean a lot. Desert Fox, you're included in that as well. Thank you for your support, man. It's your boy. Nice to see you, mate. You guys are absolute studs. Have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully, I will see you on Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, talking about an 11-win Eagles team that have finally overcome the mountain, that have beaten the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. Go Birds. I'll see you Monday.